Yeah, I'm Nathan Nashville. I've been doing the lighting on Chris Trott's latest project.
I've been working with Chris Trott for about a year on the editing.
It's difficult with my job because when you're doing lighting and you don't have lights, it's difficult to sort of project light. Doing shots with handhelds was hand of torches.
Mag lights.
Yeah. The strangest thing actually was the money that he spent on fireworks. Yeah, there was no on-site paramedic.
A massive percentage of the budget was on fireworks.
Yeah, and you would think that paramedic and sort of fireworks would go hand in hand, but for Chris Trott, you know, he wanted the explosions. I mean, that one girl actually got quite severely burnt on her face.
Really bad.
Because Chris made her hold the firework.
Yeah. It was a Catherine wheel.
Well, I feel like I need no formal introduction, but I will delegate to my editor to introduce me.
This is the Chris Trott, the director, producer, actor, writer, and
Oscar nominated.
you're Oscar nominated.
Yes, technically.
The Oscar nominated Chris Trott. There you go.
It's unofficial.
It's unofficial.
That's me.
How much we get paid? I don't get paid anything. I don't know if you get paid anything.
I mean, I suppose I got paid in a way. It was more stuff like, if I couldn't get home of an evening, he'd put me in a taxi, and then the next day I'd come back for my wage packet, and he'd be like, "How did you get home last night?" And I couldn't really argue with that. But it's just difficult to buy stuff, you know, when you're living like that. That's the problem that I had.
Yeah. I mean, as I say, I'm working for free. I suppose. I mean, currently he has my brother held captive, so I guess I'm just trying to win his freedom back. I mean, I'm not right with it, but you know, it's a ransom situation that I don't really want to go into.
Petty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's petty.
It's petty.
What? Animals are not allowed on set, no. But there was one occasion where this dog was scared absolutely shitless of the array of Catherine wheels I had set up in the studio for my sex scene, obviously. And it ran across the DOP, everyone, it ran right on screen, jumped on the bed. So I felt, as director, I had to seize control for a moment. So I leapt on it, wrestled it to the ground, I remember, and I kicked its face in. Unfortunately, it was still twitching, so I had to unleash my whip. And then it was definitely not moving after that, so...
Well, that was my dog.
One of my requirements for editing was fade to black, fade to black.
That's right, yeah.
Every shot, fade to black.
Well, that was something that I believed you needed to include. I mean, it is a bit confusing for everyone to, at home when you're watching it, it's like, it's all in your face, and it's like, well, I'm very confused by this shot, I don't understand what's going on. Why is this image being refreshed? I mean, people hate it, it's bullshit. But we have to have it in there. If it's not in there, I'm not part of it. And I work for free.
It's my legging shot. Good. What was the question? Height. Yes. I've always had an issue with height on set. I've always wanted people below me. It gives me more power, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Like, whenever the studio shots were done, or any time I was in the studio with the director, I had to be at least lower than him at any point.
I mean, at least a melon's worth. A good melon. Sturdy
Something
melon.
like that, yeah. I mean, somebody had a melon on set, so they used that as a measurement. I mean, the main issue I had was being on my knees all the time. I mean, shoes aren't designed for your knees. That's a fact. That's a given. I mean, they're not designed for your knees. And I was, crawling around like a hamster. Just, it was hard.
I mean, I don't understand why you went out for 3 weeks.
Well, that was the spinal injury, because, I mean, there was one time when I was setting up a tripod and, someone kicked me. It was definitely you. But
I'm not
going to argue about it. But
that's besides the point. You were out for 3 weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I may have given you a slight punt, but I'm not ashamed of that.
Well, either way, I definitely had to be below him most of the time. I mean, that was pretty much it for everyone, wasn't it? So yeah.
Obviously, there was a period where me and Ross weren't about. I mean, how did you cope then?
Correct. Still a little bit pissed off about that, but
it's not.
talk about that another time. Yes, I was doing multiple things on one particular scene as Dr. Trott. My left hand, I was utilising the camera, particularly the focus, because the cameraman was dead to me. I was focusing on my nose. I wanted the nose focal point. In my right hand, a prop, a laptop, because Dr. Trott likes his laptops. I felt, why not plug it in? You know, I was editing the scene before, okay? I was saying all that whilst acting and saying my poignant line, like this, and I did it. And I did it.
Not sure, like, I mean, obviously it's not an ideal way to work.
Not at all, but I did it.
No.
You have AIDS. Really quite bad. Can we do another take?
What do I think about Chris Trott? Honestly, he's arrogant, negligent, narcissistic. I think he's a member of the BNP. I mean, his directing is much like a dictatorship, particularly with the whip. But we all like to work with him. You know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah, I just wish I got paid. Would I work for Chris Trott again? That's a good question. I don't know, would you?
I think I would, because you know he is a genius. I mean,
That's I know, yeah,
you can't take, but
definitely.
I think I would like some lights. You know, essentially to do lighting, you do need lights.
It's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what a necessity if I was to work with him again.
I suppose I don't know if I'd work for him again. I mean, as soon as my brother's free, I suppose I'm out of there. But until that day, you know.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.